Hey guys, do you want to know how the clone troopers received Order 66, why Palpatine called the clone commanders personally, as well as what happened to the clones that didn't receive the order, like Cut LaQueen, or clones that didn't have their helmets on, or even how Order 66 actually works? Like, is it just a trigger word, or is there some type of switch? And if it is just a trigger word, will it only work when Palpatine says it? And if you're also wondering if Palpatine actually had a backup plan for Order 66, then this is the video for you, so let's get right into it. Hey guys, I'm the Great Jedi and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a great day today. So, how did the clone troopers receive Order 66? Well, to answer that simply, it's Palpatine. He executed Order 66 and it came through a hologram call for some, or it got radioed in through their helmets for the rest. But that brings up another couple questions, like why did Palpatine call in all those clone commanders personally, and what happened to those clones that didn't receive the order because they didn't have their helmets on? Like, come on, my boy could have been eating to survive, or like my boy LaQueen could have just got rid of his armor. Well, let me start off by saying that he didn't necessarily call each commander, and even if he did, they all didn't pick up. Like, let's just look at a couple examples in the Revenge of the Sith film. We can see that Ki-Adi-Mundi, Aayla Secura, and even Ali's clone commanders didn't get on a call with Palpatine for whatever reason. So, my thinking is that Papa Palps over here called all those clone commanders that we saw as a failsafe, just as a way to be sure. He wants to be able to see that all those clone commanders actually execute Order 66 right then and there. Not only that, you can also say that he wanted those specific Jedi dead without any doubt, and wanted to actually see those clone commanders executing it, because it wasn't like any recording that went out to all the commanders. He literally called them one by one. So it does make sense that he called those clone commanders to the Jedi he would for sure want dead. But he also just doesn't want to literally stand there all day in his room calling every individual clone commander. I mean, this guy has a galaxy to rule now. He's going to be a very busy man. So, now I'm not saying, the commanders he didn't call, he doesn't want those specific Jedi dead, because he definitely does. But just think about it for a minute. If you were the Emperor Palpatine and you got to choose the specific Jedi to die, I don't know about you, but I would want the more powerful Jedi to die without any doubt in my mind. Especially those powerful ones that had an influence on Anakin Skywalker, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Plo Koon, Ahsoka Tano, and many others from, whom Palpatine called their clone commanders. I mean, he could have just trusted the system, but if I were him, I wouldn't want to risk one of my clone commanders having their helmet off and not hearing the command, and then, them just, yeah, we'll get to that question later on. But this now leads to our next question. What happened to the clones that didn't receive the order? Because you better believe there were some clones that didn't have their helmets off because they were knocked off in combat, or they were eating, or a commander was talking to their general, or they were even unconscious. Doesn't matter what the reason is. It's realistic to wonder what happened to those clones that didn't receive the order. Well, in that case, whenever they came across their clone brothers, they would mention Order 66, and they would all of a sudden just snap right into following that order, which answers the next two questions. Is it a trigger word, or is there a switch, or is it even both? Well, it's just a trigger word. There is no switch that we know of. Otherwise, all the clones would have just executed it right then and there at the same time, and Cut LaQueen would have also executed it. But that also leads into, can anyone say these trigger words, or just Palpatine? Well, in canon, anyone can actually say those words and they will just do it. But here's the deal. No one had the authority to do that except the Supreme Chancellor, who had control of the Senate and the courts. I know, man.
He has control of the Senate and the courts. He's too dangerous to be left alive.
So that means all those clones that didn't receive the order, they would have to be told, execute Order 66, and then they would follow. And, for whatever reason, if one didn't follow the order, which, that wouldn't happen, but if you wanted to think about that, then they would just be executed for treason. So they would comply or they would die. And for those that don't believe me about how anyone can use those trigger words, execute Order 66, and then them follow it, and how it doesn't need to be Palpatine, well, in the canon comic Darth Vader number 17, it shows Farron Barr saying the words execute Order 66, and the clones execute, trying to kill the Inquisitors. So as you can see, it is just a set of trigger words that has been programmed into them since birth with their inhibitor chips, and anyone who says those words,
execute Order 66,
can get them to execute it. So, which then leads to the last question. Did Palpatine have a failsafe just in case his plan didn't go according to plan? Like, what if someone said execute Order 66 before the time is right, even though they don't have the authority or power to do it? Well, I believe Palpatine had some type of backup plan, whether that was a switch he had to turn on or not. I mean, come on. This guy is super smart and super patient, and I can't see him not having a backup plan just in case something goes wrong. So what I think is that he had some type of secret switch that controlled their inhibitor chips, but he never had to go to the lengths of actually using it because his plan worked out flawlessly. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys learned something or it helped clear some things up. And if it did, or if you just enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and sharing it around. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if you do want to see more content like this, then please consider subscribing. Don't let anyone steal your joy. Gray out, and may the Force be with you always.